I've got 5x, 3 to 10x on my travel spend. I've got 4x on my food spend. And now I've got 2x on all my other purchases. So, you can slap some numbers behind that on an annual basis, and it turns into a lot.
So if I take your course at the end, how many cards am I going to have? What would you say on average?
I mean, honestly, the best, you got to be able to execute on it and keep it clean and efficient. So I basically say is 3 cards.
3 cards
for your spend. Everyone has to ask themselves, what are the two big, what are my 2 biggest expenses? A lot of people will say travel and food. So the kind of the exercise is, okay, what's the best card for points earning on travel expenses? So the Chase Sapphire Reserve, probably my favorite card for all things travel. So now in your head, okay, I'm buying a flight. Okay, I got to use my Chase Sapphire Reserve card. It's travel. An Amex Gold card is 4x on food, including grocery. So same thing. If I'm thinking about food.
If I do Uber Eats, would that also count?
Sure does.
Bro, that's incredible.
Okay. I'm home. I don't have a kitchen, man. I'm Uber Eats and whatever I can.
How much? So I think my Chase Sapphire Reserve was $550 a year. How much is the Amex one?
The Amex Gold, I think they just raised it to $250, and I can touch on the annual.
$250?
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Yeah. So
for some reason in my mind, I'm thinking the Amex card is going to be way more expensive than the Chase card.
The Platinum's expensive.
Which one? How much is that? Like $800?
$695.
$695. Okay.
I spend $5,000 a year on annual fees across all my cards, and I don't even sweat it.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. Like for as much as we travel, I think it would be worth it. Like when I put down the $550 as my first ever credit card, I'm thinking to myself, oh man, $550. I mean, it paid for itself in the first month. Yeah.
Exactly. So, there's the cards are loaded with perks and benefits and free nights and all this and that. So at the end of the day, if you're just looking at annual fees, aside from the points, at the very least, you're going to break even on the extra value and things on those cards. So I don't sweat those, but I guess kind of going back to that, how do we earn those points? Take those 2 biggest items that you're spending and think on an annual basis. Each transaction, you might be like, oh, what does it matter? But look at an annual number. So, we got our travel card, Chase Reserve, Amex Gold is food. And now for simplicity, it's like, okay, well, I don't need to add too many layers here. What's a card that's going to earn me, just a flat 2x on all my purchases? So like I use a Capital One Venture X for that. So essentially, I've got 5x, 3 to 10x on my travel spend. I've got 4x on my food spend. And now I've got 2x on all my other purchases. So you can slap some numbers behind that on an annual basis, and it turns into a lot.
Okay.
So that not only are you earning the right types of points to use later on, but we're maximized. So, that's a key piece. So one is optimizing your return on spend. Lots of people talk about sign-up bonuses and stuff like that. They're cool, but it's a one-time hit. And a lot of people screw up and just kind of aimlessly go grab a card that they don't even know, what it is. So it's like, yeah, you can go get sign-up bonuses as long as your spend is dialed in. So that's the second one. We're in the credit card space, which is great. So I get a ton of points from referring out my credit cards. I probably did almost 1 million points just from referring the cards that I currently have.
The referral code that you give to your friends. Okay, got it.
And it seems small, but once you understand what you can do with these points, these small little things turn into a lot.
So I don't know if you heard Alex Hormozy. He talks about he and his wife go out to eat at a restaurant every night, right? And my girlfriend and I, we either go out to eat somewhere or I order in. So I should probably get an Amex Gold for that. I mean, I spent I was looking at how much I spent on food, and it's outrageous. So
yeah. So that would be your dedicated card for all things food.
Okay.
And essentially, just think of it like this: you using that card for your food can ultimately turn into like a round trip business class to Europe.
And I can, the thing you were saying before, I can now funnel all 3 of these cards into American or British Airways, like you said before. Right. I can funnel them. I can set up a loyalty program for all 3 of them, and then go, instead of using their portal, go into whatever that airline is.
Exactly. So the key is we want to earn those transferable points, and we want to keep stacking them up. But remember that they've got a fixed value when they're assigned within the banks. But when we go to redeem those points, we get to break away from that fixed value when we transfer them out. And now we're booking off those award charts. So like that strategy I just laid out, now we have Chase points, we have Amex and Capital One. We have all 3 of the big currencies, and there's things with Chase that you can't do with Capital One, and there's things with Amex you can't do with Chase. So having a diversified points lineup even further opens the door for literally limitless potential with what you can do with them and also the value you can get out of them.